Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is New Year's Eve's Eve. In other words, the day before my favorite holiday. So I'm excited to get my glam on and to show you how I did it. And also, I love getting dressed up and fancy for New Year's because then I can take some incredibly fancy pictures and then I can start Instagram off on a high note for the next year. Now this year, as I'm sure we all know, things aren't entirely going according to plan, and no, we won't be celebrating the way we usually do, but I'm going to do exactly what I did last year for New Year's Eve, and that was get dressed up with my neighbor and then take fancy pictures before listening to the fireworks outside. Last year we just happened to stay at home because we were in a pretty fancy place and we had everything we wanted there. But this is a look I definitely would do if I'm going out on New Year's. So let's look back at what I did on YouTube this year. I decided to start the year off with 2 reviews. I reviewed the stick foundation I was using at that point, and I decided to review a charcoal peel-off mask, which is a video that's almost in the 1,000 views. It did a lot better than I expected it to do. And that's also part of why I did so many videos this year where I reviewed masks, because number 1, they were fun, and number 2, they got a lot of views. At the beginning of the year, I wasn't entirely sure what I was doing with my videos, but I knew I wanted to have a specific thing that I'm doing. I wanted to plan my videos. I wanted to organize it a bit more than just sit down and film whatever I was thinking about that day. But it took me a minute to actually get that down. I filmed a random cookie video, which, by the way, best cookies ever. But that's a little out there. I filmed a tea bath video, which was a lot of fun. I was sweating my makeup off. But I planned this video around advice for university students, specific to my university. So I made a long list of all the tips I wish I knew back when I started, sat in a bath full of tea, and I told everyone about it. And these videos did incredibly well. So this year started on a high note in terms of my videos. And the reason these videos did so well is because a Tux meme page posted about them on their story. So several students in my university ended up watching these videos. And they still get ridiculous amount of views. I don't know why, but they do. But then in that part of the year, we went up to the neighbor's family's place because their museum opened up. His family has a museum on the property and that's what they're doing with life. So with their grand opening, we went there and it was a lot of fun being there with everyone. But then we came back and life started. We were back at uni, so there was less time, but I had filmed ahead of time in December, so a lot of the videos you saw at the beginning of the year, I filmed back in December, like all the mukbang videos and all the videos pretty much in the big house. Only the videos once you started seeing the background with a fridge in it. The first one I filmed there was like a bright summer smoky eye look. Everything before that, I filmed in December, and I think this video I only filmed in like February, so I was pretty ahead and that made things pretty easy. I didn't have to worry about it. At a point I was putting out videos every other day because I filmed so much more than I needed to, and I didn't want videos to be too old. Like I don't want to see the video going up and be like, oh, I filmed this like 3 months ago. So instead of queuing at 2 videos every week, I instead just let them all out in January to get ahead again. And you can see that in my vlogs because you can see where I'm filming and the areas I'm moving around in do not sync up that much. I then did a few fun themed things, like I let several different things pick my makeup, I let my timetable colors pick my makeup, I let Instagram pick my makeup, I let Instagram not pick my makeup, and a bunch of things like that. Also tried on all my lipsticks, and that is something I want to do again someday, but I pretty much still have all the same lipsticks, nothing's really new, so it's not quite time yet, but someday it's the goal to redo that video. And then in March, before everything locked down, February and March, I wasn't having fun with my bartending. I don't want to be bartending. That's not what I want to be doing with life. But that was the only source of income I had at that point. So I was stuck on, what if I quit? Like, what would I do? Where would I go? I recently got a job at the university as a demi, and I wasn't sure how much that would pay, but maybe that could carry me over and I don't have to bartend, or at least I could bartend less. Because not only was it just not fun for me anymore, but people were treating me so bad. And I also felt like I was wasting my time because I'm studying sciences, yet I'm bartending. Can't I get a job more in my line of work so I can get more work experience through it? So I was really debating about potentially quitting, and then everything closed down. I didn't have to make the choice. I got to stop working, and that was a lot of fun. Luckily, bills didn't pile up for me because I got to stay with a neighbor's family, and then you got to see a lot of the farm I was staying on in my vlogs, and you got to see the neighbor, you got to see his sister, you got to see his 6 dogs that I got to know really well. I remember when I met them, I was just like, there are so many names and so many nicknames. There are like 18 names I have to learn here, but I knew at some point I'd know these names, so I just gotta try. And that day came really quickly. I learned those names real fast living with them. But here again, you can see I queued my videos because you were still seeing videos of me being on campus and me hanging out with friends while I was vlogging about lockdown and quarantining and all that stuff. And then when you started seeing videos of me in the neighbor's parents' house, it took me a second to figure out my setup. At first I was sitting on the floor right by the bed so I can use the window for light. And I did some pretty basic makeup stuff. I did my powder foundation routine. I did a palette review. I swatched all my palettes and stuff like that. Purely because I was trying to figure it out. So I wanted to do a simple concept so I can focus on the editing part and the setup part. But soon enough, we got rid of the single bed. We made a Christmas bed on the ground. I got a little table to work on and everything. So once it was set up a lot better, I feel my videos started looking a lot better. I also decided to do some hair focus videos where I talk about my hairdresser horror stories and times I've ruined my own hair. And those 2 videos did surprisingly well. And I really enjoyed filming them because I enjoy telling stories. So I really wanted to do more story time videos and stuff like that. But because we were in lockdown, there wasn't much of a story to tell. Everyone knew what was going on globally, and there's only so much happening when you're at home the whole time. So I tried out a different type of format where I'm just doing my makeup, like today. Yeah, the visual of me doing my makeup, but you get to hear me talking about something entirely different. And I spoke about how influencers should use their platforms, inspired by the whole Black Lives Matter movement that was happening at the time. And while that video didn't do too bad, I felt like I would just put too much pressure on myself to talk about 2 important topics. I didn't want to force myself to address relevant things where I have to do hours of research beforehand because I feel that would pull the fun out of the videos. I'm not at a point in my life where I have time to do that type of research for a video. So as much fun as that wasn't going to work. So I went back to doing some other get ready with me videos and some other fun just makeup videos where I tell you a story or tell you exactly how to do something, like how I do my eyebrows or how to take pictures. I played around with my makeup a bit. I did like a fancy skull look. I tried a goth look. And then I rounded back to doing videos where I talk about a specific topic. And I decided to talk about viruses because pandemic was still happening. I was currently taking virology and I saw a lot of confusion online about things that were very simplistic to me purely because I was taking this module. So I decided to do a video just talking about what I know and answering common questions I hear about viruses. And not only was that video very fun, it was very satisfying and it did pretty well. So I enjoyed that and I thought about that afterwards and I decided to do more videos like that. So I decided to choose more specific topics to talk about. Now, while I was planning this, I was still doing other how-to videos and makeup videos and did a channel trailer and I did a story time. I did a makeup tutorial in Afrikaans. I did a sunglasses haul, another mask review. I even shaved my eyebrows. I did a bunch of other things in the meantime. But then I got to mask myths and I got to being cruelty-free and I got to how I used to use fake makeup and I explained blood groups. And then I kind of found what I wanted to do. I wanted to do videos that kind of had a point, but that didn't all need research. I eventually did a video on conspiracy theories where I had to look stuff up, but I also did a video on horror movies where I spoke about the different horror movies I've watched and what I thought about them. I did a lot of fun things for Halloween that I enjoyed. I did a Neon Skull collab. I did a bruises tutorial, and then of course I spoke about the horror movies. I also spoke about how much I hate purple. I did a video on where I tried out overlining my lips, which I'm doing again today because it is a new favorite of mine. But now, even though I know what I want to do, I still have fun in between. I still do random videos like Instagram picks my makeup, guess the song with me, story times and stuff like that. And I'm glad I get to still do that. I'm glad through this year I figured out what I want to do to some extent. I don't have it 100% down, but I'm proud of the content I put out this year and I enjoyed it a lot. And I hope you enjoyed watching all my videos and watching this video as much as I enjoyed making them. I hope you like this look I ended up doing today because I feel incredibly glam. Here's the final result. But then that is it for today and this year, and then I look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye!